What if the most terrifying monsters out there weren't after your life, but something way more valuable? From the misty shores of Ireland to the sun-scorched lands of Nigeria, folklore is packed with stories about creatures that are hungry for something more than just your blood and bones. So today, we're counting down the 5 most horrifying creatures from myth and legend that are said to steal your very soul. Let's get into it. Kicking off our list at number 5 is a name that parents across Spain and Latin America have used for generations to scare their kids into behaving. El Cuco. Your first thought might be that it's just a classic boogeyman, a shapeless shadow hiding in the closet. And you're not totally wrong. El Cuco is the quintessential nightmare fuel, a monster in the dark used in lullabies and rhymes to keep children in line. The threat is simple. Behave, or El Cuco will come for you. But the legend of El Cuco can get much, much darker. While it's often depicted as a formless shadow, some stories describe it as a hairy monster, a dragon, or even an alligator-human hybrid. Shape-shifting is key to its terror. It's not just what it is, but what it does. It's the opposite of a guardian angel, a being that snatches misbehaving children, stuffs them in a sack, and spirits them away forever. But where does the soul-stealing part come in? Traditionally, the stories focus on kidnapping and, well, eating the children. But many modern interpretations, like the one popularized by Stephen King, suggest a far more sinister diet. In these versions, El Cuco feeds on the grief and fear of the families it terrorizes. The idea has evolved into the belief that El Cuco consumes the very essence, the soul of the children it takes. One horrifying version of the myth even suggests it's a cursed man who, after losing his own child, is now driven by an endless hunger for the souls of other kids. It represents the ultimate fear for a parent, not just losing their child, but the complete erasure of their existence, devoured by a monster born from whispers in the dark. Our number 4 spot takes us to the deserts of the southwestern United States. Deep into Navajo or folklore, to face a creature so feared that even saying its name is considered taboo. This is the Skinwalker, known in the Navajo language as Yi Nald Lushi, or with it, he goes on all fours. A Skinwalker isn't your typical monster. It's a human witch who has walked a path of pure evil. To gain their horrifying powers, a person has to commit the ultimate taboo, murdering a close family member. This single act of depravity grants them the power to shapeshift, to literally wear the skins of animals and become them. Their favorite forms are often predators and tricksters like coyotes, wolves, or owls. Once they've changed, they get all of that animal's strengths: a wolf's speed, an owl's sight, a coyote's stealth. They're said to be nearly impossible to catch, able to run faster than a car and leap over cliffs. They terrorize entire communities, peering through windows with unsettlingly human-like eyes and mimicking the cry of a baby to lure people outside. But their most terrifying ability is what lands them on this list. While they don't eat souls, they practice a different kind of soul theft. It's believed that by making eye contact, a skinwalker can absorb a person's will, read their mind, and even take complete control of their body. This violation is a form of spiritual theft, turning a person into a puppet. They can also inflict sickness and misfortune with their magic, and some legends say they can even reanimate the dead to do their bidding. The Skinwalker is a chilling reminder that sometimes the scariest monsters look just like us. For our third creature, we're heading to the frozen northern forests of North America and the lore of the Algonquin-speaking peoples. Here, where the cold bites and starvation is a real threat, stalks a monster born from humanity's most desperate act: the Wendigo. The tale of the Wendigo is a grim warning. According to most legends, it was once a human hunter who, lost and starving in a brutal winter, gave in to the ultimate taboo: cannibalism. This act forever damned him, transforming him into a grotesque skeletal creature, emaciated yet impossibly tall. Its skin is stretched thin over its bones, and its lips are often chewed away, a testament to its own insatiable hunger. The Wendigo is the very spirit of gluttony. It's cursed with a constant gnawing hunger that only grows with every meal. But it's not just a physical threat, it's a spiritual one. The Wendigo is a spirit of corruption that can possess a person, especially when their spirit is weak from greed or hardship. Once it's inside, the Wendigo spirit begins what you could call a form of soul consumption. It whispers in its host's mind, planting an overpowering craving for human flesh, driving them to madness and violence. This horrifying transformation is known as Wendigo psychosis, a state where a person's humanity is completely eroded, replaced by the monstrous hunger of the creature they've become. In this way, the evil of the Wendigo is like a plague that spreads through the very act of its own existence. It's not just about being killed by a monster, it's about the terror of having your soul hollowed out and becoming the monster yourself. Alright, we're getting into the truly heavy hitters now. If you're loving these twisted tales, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our final 2 most terrifying entries. Also, let us know in the comments which of these creatures has creeped you out the most so far. Leaving the frozen woods, we now journey to the misty coasts of Ireland and Scotland for our number 2 spot. Say hello to the Sluagh, also known as the host of the Unforgiven Dead. These aren't just any ghosts. They are a malevolent hunting party of restless spirits. The story behind the Sluagh is bleak, legend says. They are the souls of the most wicked sinners people, so corrupt that they were rejected by heaven, hell, and even the Celtic otherworld. Doomed to wander the skies for eternity, they fly together in a terrifying swarm, hunting for the one thing they no longer have, a living soul. From a distance, you might mistake them for a flock of birds, a swirling black cloud against the sky. But up close, they're described as emaciated figures with leathery, bat-like wings and twisted limbs. They fly in from the west on dark, stormy nights, and are known to be particularly active during the festival of Samhain. The Sluagh are relentless soul hunters. They prey on the vulnerable, hovering near the homes of the sick and dying, waiting for the moment of death to snatch the soul as it departs. It was an old tradition in Ireland and Scotland to keep all west-facing windows shut when someone was ill, just in case the Sluagh tried to sweep in. But they don't just target the dying. They can supposedly sense a sorrowful heart and will happily pluck the soul from a living person lost in despair. The fate of their victims is truly awful. The stolen soul isn't destroyed but is absorbed into the flock, forced to join the Sluagh's endless, terrifying hunt for all time. And here we are, at our number 1 most terrifying soul-stealing creature. This one comes from the folklore of the Hausa people of Nigeria and Niger, and its horror is uniquely personal and parasitic. Meet the Soul Eater, or Maya. Unlike most creatures on this list, the Soul Eater isn't a spirit or a demon. It's a human being, who has the horrifying ability to see, capture, and consume the souls of others. In Hausa belief, this power, known as Maida, is said to come from special stones that the witch keeps inside their stomach. This terrible power can be inherited or acquired, meaning, in theory, anyone could become this kind of monster. The Soul Eater operates with terrifying stealth. They might take the form of an animal to stalk their victims unnoticed. They don't need to kill the body to get to the soul. They can forcibly extract a person's spirit while they're still alive. Once the soul is taken, the victim's body begins to waste away from a mysterious illness until it finally dies, leaving everyone baffled. Some legends say they drag the stolen souls to a nest in a dimension that exists between worlds, where they feed on them. What makes the Soul Eater so uniquely horrifying are its motivations. Some tales say they are just evil, but others present a more tragic and, frankly, more frightening idea, that Soul Eaters are cursed and must consume souls to survive. They are trapped in a nightmare cycle, forced to prey on their friends and neighbors to prolong their own miserable lives. Imagine the absolute terror of realizing that someone you know and trust doesn't see you as a person, but as their next meal. From the parental nightmare of El Cuco to the parasitic curse of the Soul Eater, these 5 entities tap into a fear that's much deeper than just death. They represent the horror of losing our very essence, our consciousness, our memories, our humanity. Whether it's the corrupting possession of the Wendigo, the eternal damnation of joining the Sluagh, or the sinister mind control of the Skinwalker, these legends show that for centuries, we've believed there are things in the dark that are hungry for so much more than our lives. Which of these soul stealers gets under your skin the most? Or is there a creature from your hometown we should know about? Scare us in the comments below. Thanks for watching.